Sunny 98 at 1550, Dana and Gracie in the morning. We're proud and thrilled to welcome Jared, a former fat guy.
That's right.
How are you, Jared?
I'm well. Very well.
We have something very much in common, and that is that Muncie, Indiana is kind of like my second home.
Okay, yep.
You're
absolutely.
from Indianapolis.
That's Ball State country up there.
Yeah.
I live in Indianapolis. I'm in Zionsville, although I have my family. I've got some family live in Anderson, which is really close to Muncie.
Right. School bus. They do the Bluebird buses over in Anderson.
Absolutely, they sure do. So. But yeah, born and raised, I'm a Hoosier.
Yeah.
And excited my IU Hoosiers won last night. We beat New Mexico State.
Now, here's one of the great things. We're playing John Mellancamp before as Jared walks into the room. And he's saying, he goes, I go to all the basketball games, and he goes, I sit 4 rows down from John Mellancamp. So that tells you where Jared is on the celebrity scale. Because if he's 4 rows down from John Mellancamp.
Well, the thing is, John Mellancamp, he lives in Bloomington, Indiana.
Right.
He didn't actually go to IU, although I think he's gotten now a couple honorary degrees from them.
Or thrown out a couple of times.
Yes, and that's probably too. But he's donated, just tens of millions of dollars to the school. And there's the John Mellancamp practice facility where all the teams practice now, and so. He's a pretty big deal there.
He's really entrenched in the community there.
Is.
And that's one of the things that we admire and I love about him so much.
Absolutely.
Well, welcome, Jared.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Now, you're a former large man. Yes. I've actually, when Gracie and I met 5 years ago, I was dressing out at 360.
Wow.
So I've actually lost about 80 pounds.
Good for you.
So inspire me to keep on this. What do I need to do?
I don't want to keep. It's tough. I'll tell you. It's the biggest thing, the biggest challenge, and it's tough because it's not only about a matter of losing weight, and then it's about how do you keep the weight off.
Right.
That's what I still struggle with it. I mean, it's been 13 years now that I've lost the 245 pounds. Eating the Subway sandwiches twice a day, but the key is once you get that weight off. Most people can lose weight at some point in their life, once or twice. They can lose the weight, but it's that process of keeping that weight off that seems to be way more difficult. And it's tough. And I think you got to take it day by day. You got to realize you can never go back to the way it used to be, and you have to look at food differently and look at your life a little differently, and also realize that as time changes, as your metabolism changes, as you get older, as your family life changes, as your work circumstances change, if you don't change with it, you're liable to put that weight back on too.
Right.
So it's tough, but you just hang in there with it, keep going one day at a time with it, and keep fighting.
Well, one of the things that Gracie and I really admire about you is you've taken what was, and I mean this with all due respect, what started off as what I would consider to be kind of almost like a gimmick for Subway.
Absolutely, sure.
And you have so parlayed this into a life's mission. I mean, we follow, you're iconic.
I say God bless America.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about people, there aren't that many.
My dad keeps asking me when I'm going to get a real job, and I say, hopefully not for a long time. This is way too much fun.
Well,
you get asked that a lot, too.
I'm preaching to the choir right here. I know that. So.
Well, we're talking about iconic figures in American history. We're talking about great entertainers, people like Cher, one-name entertainers, Madonna, Prince, and
Elvis,
and Jared.
Jared.
I mean, that's got to be.
Some of these poor people, I feel bad for them.
Is this your first visit to Huntsville?
No, I'll tell you what. This is not. In fact, my first visit to Huntsville was when I was in 5th grade. I went to space camp.
Good for you.
I was going to say, you went to
space camp. I was very fortunate. Spring break, 5th grade. So about this time of year, when I was fortunate enough, and it was interesting. It was a funny long story, but we were supposed to fly Eastern Airlines. Remember Oldie?
Yes.
And literally, it was right when Eastern went bankrupt. That month that it happened. So we ended up having to take a bus from Indianapolis. You can imagine 30 of us kids with 2 chaperones. I mean, I felt so bad for these people driving us down on this old rickety bus to get us to space camp. So we were still determined to go. But so then, I've been back several times since. We've done a couple of the Heart Walks here locally, which is what we're back in town for.